Well, today we're going to dive into 3 ways that we can use stories into our business, because a lot of people, especially in network marketing, we try to just market to everybody, but there's a way that we can do it that's more authentic, because it's important. Like, if you are an authentic influencer, it's important to have your audience connect with you. Authentic influencers, I am so excited today to have my guests Justin and Michelle Demers with us. Welcome, guys.
Well, we're excited.
Yes, thank you for having us on here, first of all. And I'm really glad you said stories versus testimonials, because that's what people recognize. Testimonials, it's a word they recognize, but
doesn't feel so good. Doesn't feel so good.
Well, today we're going to dive into 3 ways that we can use stories into our business, because a lot of people, especially in network marketing, we try to just market to everybody, and we try to use different tools and stuff that our company has given us by using testimonial videos, because that is what they call them, testimonial videos, and share that with them and stuff like that. But there's a way that we can do it that's more authentic, because it's important. If you are an authentic influencer, it's important to have your audience connect with you. And it's all about you and your business and your brand and what you do, versus connecting and being loyal with the direct sales company that you're working with. When we were talking before this, Justin, you were talking about how sales, it doesn't have to be salesy, and we don't have to think of it as a bad word. And that's one of the biggest things too. When I was recruiting, that people would say, well, I can't do this because I'm not a salesperson.
Sales is serving, which is true. If you actually have a product that you sell that improves the lives of your customers, or if you are helping to improve the lives of your team members, selling is serving. And one of the easiest ways, that's going back to the 3 ways to use stories, is to understand who you actually are serving. And so when they work with you guys, obviously they go through that whole process and you spend a lot of time with them. And at a surface level, I think that's where a lot of people stop. Oh, I serve moms. I serve stay-at-home moms. I serve, part-time, whatever it is. I serve this person. And they don't go the next step further, which is basically understanding who you're serving. What do those people actually really want? So they're buying your product, right? Or they're becoming part of your team. At a surface level, there's something that they're kind of looking for, but at a deeper level, a more emotional level, there's something that's actually driving them. And those are the stories that they're going to connect with. Those are the stories that we as humans are touched by, resonate with, are inspired by, that ultimately cause us to take action. So when we're thinking about what are the stories that are going to help me sell more of my product, it's not necessarily the thing. What we like to say, it's the thing behind the thing. So what is your product enabling them to do? What is your company and your team and your mission enabling your team members to actually do? Once you understand that, the concept of selling becomes really darn easy, because you're just inspiring. You're just sharing stories of people reaching their potential, of people making the world a better place, of people leaving a legacy for their children, of people using their profession for impact, for charity, for anything that they care about. Those are the things that actually cause people to take action.
And it's not super complicated to figure out. It's not a mystery. It's not a secret. The thing behind the thing, you can figure it out with just 2 words. And those 2 words are so that. They buy this product so that they can. It's not about the product. It's what the answer to that is. Another word you can think of is just because. They need this in their life, not because they need this. They don't need this thing. They need it because of something.
Yeah.
And I think that leads to just really deep and profound connections between people when you know what that thing is, because suddenly all those other people, those right people, can raise their hand and say, I need that as well. That's what I connect with. I don't connect with this thing, but so that I can save for my kids' college, or so that Even as simple as my hands don't feel chapped and dry in the wintertime, and suddenly it's just a much more enjoyable season. Whether it's really deep and long lasting, or whether it's not quite so deep but still has an impact on your day-to-day lives. Those stories are just really incredibly powerful.
One of the things I loved when you were saying, adding like they want to buy this product so that, like, I automatically went to like thinking Scentsy. People want to buy that to make their house smell good. Okay, but then like you can take it one step further and say, well, why is that important then? You know, and that's when you really find that thing behind the thing, you know, because some products, especially like jewelry industry, like they want to buy earrings so they look good. Okay, well, why is that important to them? You know, and like asking yourself why till you find like that deep thing that this is the thing that they're really looking for. And then you can spin that so many different ways through social media, through stories and stuff like that, showing that like there's lots of different avenues to achieve that underlying goal of why we really want to do that thing behind the thing.
For your example there, for, you know, making your home smell good, like that's the surface level, but you know, we're coming up to Thanksgiving, we're coming up to Christmas, we're coming up to, and like people are coming over. So like the so that could literally just be that. So when I have guests over, they're greeted by a smell of familiarity, or a smell that brings them back to their childhood. If it's like their parents and they used to have, you know, Christmas turkey dinner or whatever. And so part of that is cranberries, or a scent that kind of brings that connection back. So it doesn't have to be like this earth shattering so that it has to be something deeper than just so that my house smells good. The next thing that kind of builds on that is our natural inclination is like, oh, we need like really big stories. Like we need a lot of proof that like when they become part of my team, like the thing behind the thing is they're going to make $5,000 a month, and that's going to allow them to retire their husband.
And it's all really well intentioned, because the intention is, I want to be inspirational. I want to show you what's possible.
And that is possible.
It totally is. But the catch is that often will scare some people away, because it looks really amazing. It sounds really amazing. I really, really want that for me, but I don't know if I can do it.
Scary. Takes a long time, a lot of commitment, a lot of unknowns. And so while we as humans love stories, we also do not like the unknown. We are like cautious about things that we are not familiar with. And so if we're asking someone to take a risk, whether it's become part of your team or buy a product that they've never used before, like that is a risk. And so while you may have great results that are massive in nature, for a lot of people who you could help and who you could serve, those are going to be out of the realm of comprehension and attainability. And so what we recommend is when you're sharing stories, those big ones are great. But what we really connect with as humans, especially in 2019, 2020 and beyond, is immediacy, which is simply things that happen quickly. We like things to happen quickly. And so while those fast results, as we call them, may not be as big and as exciting, what they is attainable. And so when you're thinking about the stories to share, right, the thing behind the thing, what are some attainable things that you could be sharing? So instead of that $5,000 a month, maybe it's someone who just joined your team who had a $200 a month. But a $200 a month for someone who has no extra income a month is really attainable. $5,000 is really scary. And what's cool about that is it sets the real expectation. It sets the real expectation that, hey, $200 a month over the course of the next couple of months is doable, and it actually keeps them hooked and excited. So what we recommend is the stories you're sharing to attract new team members and new customers is simply what happens after the first 7 days. What happens after the first month? What happens after the first 90 days? That seems entirely believable, is believable, and will happen if they just stick it out.
I would say it's kind of the long-term and short-term vision. The long-term is we want you to see where you can go, but short-term, we want you to know you can do it. We want you to know that you can get there, whether it's hugely impactful. We want you to know you can save for college, even if you're just starting with an extra $200 a month in your kids' savings. Or we want you to know that your skin doesn't have to feel terrible this winter. And if you just start right now, it's not going to make you look 10 years younger, but it's going to make you feel way more amazing in just 2 weeks. It's something like, you know what, I might not have the consistency to use this product every day for the next 10 years, but I can do 2 weeks.
This is how it needs to be, you know? as you're talking through all of this, like I can see how it helps people to understand the messaging that they have and that they can attract the people. Because the biggest thing in network marketing is talking about like what is replicatable, right? What are some of the things that we can do that our team members can do? Because we want to make it easy. We don't want to make like this big, huge thing. And by showing them that, you know, these big things are awesome, but like celebrating those little wins, because that's the biggest thing. And that's one of the things that like I talk about when you get a new recruit, like what's the biggest win that they can have right off the bat and help them achieve that. And then you can capture that story of when they achieve that, when that excitement is all exciting. And they're like, I just did this thing that I set a goal, even though if it was little, you know, maybe it was like setting up your own checking account. Like you're a big girl, you have your own checking account for your business, you know, like little things like that, and capturing those excitements. Like that's when you share it, it makes it more, because it is that raw, that real, like these are real people doing real things.
And so that actually brings us to the third kind of point I want to talk about, which there's something powerful in sharing stories. There's something also really powerful about enabling others to share their own stories. Mm-hmm. And so in your example where you're like, when someone has this win, like invite them to go live in your group to share their win. Like that is really powerful when it's not just you talking about someone's win, but rather them talking about their own win. And so however that manifests, like if you have a Facebook group, that's awesome. If you have a local, meetup that happens, or if you have a convention or a conference, like whatever it is, but like are there opportunities there to give people the microphone and the platform to share the impact that working with you, buying, or, the actual products that you are enabling them to purchase or be a part of, the movement, whatever it is, the impact that that's having on their lives. When you actually give people that opportunity intentionally, they take it, and it becomes a really powerful vehicle for growing your business. And selling is, again, it's pretty hands-off and easy on you at that point too, because people are just talking about themselves and the impact and their lives that they're living, the thing behind the thing, everything we've talked about, in their own words, with their own message that connects to whatever it is that you sell and whoever it is that you serve.
Love that. And it makes it really easy to talk about like what you do as a leader of your team. Because if you have all your team members talking about things, one, what that's going to do, it's going to keep people around, because they're like, everyone's having these wins. Everyone's having like these awesome things, even though it may be just like something small, but it keeps that culture of like, we are in it to win it, And then you can talk about those things like outside your Facebook page and be like, I am so proud of my team. Like I had 3 girls this week that were able to do this, this, and this, and then you can publicly celebrate those people, and all you're doing is just sharing their stories. But that is where people are going to be like, okay, what are you doing? And that's just the way that you get people to reach out to you and be like, I need to be a part of whatever it is that you're doing. Well, this has been so helpful, and I'm super excited to tell everybody that's listening about this training that we have that's coming up on January 9th with Justin and Michelle. It's going to be so amazing to help you guys really learn how to craft these stories, because this is kind of like the high level, like this is what you need to be doing, but we're going to go in depth on how you can actually do this in your business. So Justin, you want to tell us about what we're going to do?
So we're going to, for 2 hours, we're going to go deep into this concept of how do you actually capture and share these stories to inspire sales, because if you're selling products, we want to sell, and attract lifelong team members, because we don't want to deal with having to train new people and onboard new people, and then they stick around for a month because that big result was just not attainable in month 1.
And just to give you a little bit of an idea, I love 2 things. 1, I come from an education background, and 2, I really enjoy color coding spreadsheets. And the reason that's relevant is because when we talk about both the workshop and the implementation guides, it's literally step by step, so that nothing is missed. Everything makes sense. I don't like leaving things up to chance. And so when it comes to these workshops, it's really, I don't want you to leave wondering how to do this. Mm-hmm. I want you to attend this workshop, be inspired, and then know exactly
what to do,
how to capture these stories of your clients without question.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys want to be a part of this, make sure you go to socialtenacity.com/stories and sign up, and we will see you all on January 9th. Super excited for this.
Thanks,
Thank you
everyone.
guys so much for being on here. I really appreciate you guys.
Thank you. We appreciate it.